patient at HomeHeritageHope, and
Terry
of Iowa. Hey, so today we're going to do some grilled chicken. We're going to do some wings. We're going to do some chicken breast.
And some tenders.
And some chicken tenders. So we're going to go through the process of what you do to prep before you go to the grill. And then we're going to go out there and talk about the grill and different things there.
Right now what we're doing is brining. Now if you know in our last video that we did with the brats, you saw me just take the raw casing brat, and we mixed some seasonings that we like to bring our own flavors to the party, put it in the water, boil it in, impart that flavor to the brats. Doing the exact same thing with chicken. Chicken breasts tend to get dry. If you put them out there and you don't watch them, and even if you do, you take real extra care with them, they'll still get dry on you.
Yeah.
Brining is the next best thing. I also do this with my pork chops too. Since the breast meat is a white meat and a lot lean, and there's not a lot of fat in it. So what I do is I take a little bit of warm water, pick out some special seasonings that I like. This one we're doing right now has some parsley, has some garlic powder, has my own blend of seasoning salts in it. So it's got some caraway and it's got some Himalayan sea salt, cracked pepper, stuff like that. Whatever you really like. If you like a little spicier chicken, you can throw some chili flake in it, some cilantro and some ground cumin if you want to give it more of a Mexican flavor. So we put this in a little bit of warm water just to dissolve the powdered ingredients. I put my chicken in and then I fill the rest of the way up so the chicken is totally covered. Now in this bowl over here we have our wings, and these are both the wing and the drumette, which we've actually cut off of a whole one-piece wing. If you noticed earlier, we had a wing and it actually had the wing tip. Well, we cut that wing tip off so later on you could save those wing tips in the freezer and use them for a broth. It's still got a lot of, the wing is a dark meat, it's got a lot of fat, a lot of flavor to it. Cooks a little bit differently too. Today we're going to be doing the wings as an appetizer. I like to throw the wings out since there's not a lot of meat on it. So I'll do my wings first on the grill, and maybe some grilled bread like we did yesterday, and that keeps the people interested and not from being so hungry, so you can have the time to do the rest of your stuff.
And that way they're not standing back there. Is it done yet?
Yeah, done yet, yes.
Is it done yet? Yes, I do have something done here.
Yes, keep them occupied. So, with the brining, you could brine 4 or 5 hours ahead of time. The best would be overnight. And what's happening when you're brining is these nice flat little pieces that you had now, you can see they're nice and puffy, and they've absorbed a lot of that flavor, they've absorbed some of that water. So now while I'm out there cooking with them, that flavor and that water is going to kind of stay in there. I'm going to lose a little bit of moisture out of it, and by compensating for that, I have a spritz bottle that I'll have either a juice, a wine, sparkling water diluted down, and I'll have it in a spritz bottle. So every time I turn my chicken, I'll spritz it down. So that's basically how we're going to start this. We did the brining process. These were brined overnight. Just for everybody watching, because I know the chicken police watch us all the time. We do wash our hands in between every time you're using and touching this raw chicken. So I will be wiping that down since I picked that up with my hand. But because I use the chicken so much, most of the time I keep a soapy rag near me all the time, because you never know when you have to adjust something or you have something drip down your hands. Chicken, you can get salmonella from. You want the chicken when you're done to be between 165 and 175 degrees. No, you don't want nobody sick at your barbecue.
And yesterday and the other day when we were grilling the hamburgers and brats and stuff, we had checked the brats on the stove because that's where we were actually cooking. So when we get out and do chicken, where when we were doing the steaks, we were just kind of checking the doneness by feel, because I used to work in a restaurant, so I know you can check doneness by feel. But with chicken, we're actually going to probe it just to make sure, because we don't want our friends, family getting sick and suing us or anything like that.
Beef, you can get away with not probing it as much because you can do the steak tartare if it's the high grade beef. Chicken and pork, there is too many things that can happen if not cooked correctly. So I cannot overemphasize enough, have at least 2 thermometers. You can have a digital and the old style probe, just to make sure your chicken is always up to temp.
And that's one of the things I've always had a problem with chicken when I'm grilling, is knowing when it was right. Because, and here again, it goes back to some of the things we talked about in an earlier video about using the indirect heat method, where I was using direct heat. I was charring everything on the outside, and the inside was raw, and we'd have to bring it in and put it in the oven to finish it off.
Correct. And actually today we're going to do something even different. We used the indirect heat yesterday where it was off to one side. Today we're going to use more of what's called a vortex heat, where we're going to have our heat in the middle, and then our chicken is going to be placed around the outside, and it's going to work kind of like a convection oven. The heat's going to be pushed up. We're going to take a piece of aluminum foil, make a makeshift vortex, so the heat will come up, hit the dome of our grill, and then come back down and work sort of like a convection oven.
So it's going to be circulating the hot air. Okay. Are we done right here?
We're done here. Next time they see us, we will be making some wings.
Let's go to the grill.
Okay.
All right, so we're out here at the grill. Our charcoal is ready to go. Now, we're wanting to show you this because what he was talking about inside, when we're talking about brining, we're doing a different method of cooking. So we're going to show you how to do that.
What we're going to do is a vortex style heat. Now you can actually buy, Jason at Adrenaline Barbecue builds these vortexes. He does a lot of cool stuff. You check out his channel; it's really good.
Okay.
They do a vortex. Several people make these, and what it is basically is a cone to direct your heat up.
Right.
If you don't have to have that, and since I have a small car and couldn't bring a lot of stuff from Iowa, we're just going to make one out of aluminum foil. Okay. And basically, all we're trying to do is keep all of our heat generated in one section where it kind of pushes up. So you see, we have a little bit of size to this just to push it up a little bit more.
Hold that.
So yeah, so we're going to pick our coals up. I always like to get mine shaped because you will always have that paper come off the bottom with the little sparks.
And this goes right in the
center?
center?
Right in the center, and then we just kind of...
I need to hold that so it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, actually, if you get a spatula, yeah.
Or how about some tongs?
Yeah, there you go. And then we're just going to start slowly pouring it in.
That gets hot quick.
It gets hot real quick.
My gloves are down there.
And now, always set your chimney way out of the way because the last thing you want to do is walk up and hit that hot chimney. So, put your coals in. Now, you see you got a nice little basket full of coals right there. And then we will replace our grill. And now we're just going to cover it just like we did before. Bottom of the vent is set at a quarter open. It'll be fine.
Oh no!
It's falling over a little bit. This is real TV, people. So now we're going to bring this up. Like I said, the bottom vent is set at a quarter open.
Okay.
We're going to have this top one all the way open for just a little while, just to draw some air through and get that heat circulating. If you'll notice, our temperature gauge is already shooting up. It's almost 200 right now.
Yep.
Just closing the lid.
All right.
So we're going to get that heat started. Once it gets going, we'll cut this back to about a half closed, maybe even a quarter closed.
Okay.
And then we'll clean, spray, and put our wings on.
All right. We've allowed the grill to come up to temp. We've cleaned the grate off a little more just to make sure we're good. And now we're going to put the wings on here, like he was explaining a while ago, around the edge. So we want to show you that.
Usually when you get hot wings at most bars, restaurants, or anything else, 90% of the time they're deep fried hot wing.
Yep.
And you have one sauce, hot wing sauce. I found not a lot of people like super hot. People like hot. Some people like barbecue. And it's really a pain to make all these different wings. So what I do, if you've ever had a smoked chicken, we're going to do it's going to become almost like a smoked chicken wing. We're going to start out with taking a little bit of this is a coconut oil, but you can use olive oil, any kind of oil that you prefer. Just going to give it a little spritz, and it's just to help stick it. And so we're just going to put it in here and just give it a little fluff around the chicken. Just helps with it not sticking. That is real outdoors right there.
Yes, it is.
We're backyard barbecuing. Now, backyard grilling.
Grilling.
So, what we're going to do is place these just in a circular motion all the way around, like so.
Now, when you do this, do you prefer to do skin side up or down first?
I prefer skin side down. Sometimes they'll get away from you.
Yeah.
If they drop,
right.
You got a lot of heat here. Don't try to reach back in after. So, we're just going to just keep them going around the outside. You're not notice how we're not putting anything here, so you don't worry about the flare up, the fire coming up, and giving you a burn. And if you have too many, fill it up as good as you can. And if you have to wait and come back later, once these start cooking, they'll come down and you can start condensing them a little bit more.
Okay.
And if you are doing this with a rubber glove on like I am, be careful about the fire because you will melt that to your hand.
Oh yeah.
So,
all right. So let's talk about how this is. We kind of went over it, but now that you can see the chicken on there and see where the heat is, so the heat is gonna rise.
Yeah. If you put your hand right here, you can feel it right there.
Yeah, you can.
But you put it outside over the chicken, you don't feel anything. So, since you're going to keep your hand here a few seconds before it starts getting hot, what's it's going to do? This heat's going to rise up, hit the top of this pan, and then follow the curve of the pan back down and make that circular motion. Okay. So we'll just cover these up and let them go for a few minutes. And what's going to happen is the proteins of the chicken are going to start cooking and solidify. And that's when you'll pull it loose. You'll just take your spatula or your tongs, whichever you prefer to use. You'll kind of grab it and kind of play with it a little bit. If it wants to break away, then it's time to turn the chicken. That reason you get all those chicken pieces all over your grill is because people want to turn their chicken way too soon. Let the chicken tell you when it's ready.
That sounds like me.
Let the chicken tell you when it's ready.
Yeah, because I always end up with hunks of chicken on the grill grid.
There you got that, and that's precisely why. The chicken just wasn't ready to flip yet.
Okay.
So, while we're doing this, now we can actually go in and make our sauces for what we want to dip it in. So that way you can have 2 or 3 different sauces. That's the great thing about doing it this way. You can have people that just want a nice smoked chicken wing.
Right.
Or if you want some hot sauce, you want some barbecue sauce, whatever. You can make your specialty sauces now and throw your own flavor on top of this.
All right. Well, let's go back in the kitchen and make some sauce.
What we have here, we'll start out with your basic hot sauce. Most people, when they do hot sauce, what they'll do is they'll go buy a bottle of name brand hot sauce. And if you taste this, it's hot. It is buffalo sauce. It is really, really hot. Same with this. This says hot sauce on it.
Right.
Now, I personally, I believe if you can't put flavor in it, don't put heat with it. Because all you taste is heat. It's a waste of good food.
Sure, I agree.
So what I like to do is I do a little mixing of my own. You want something sticky on it. So we'll start out with just your regular hot sauce. And then to that, I will add some sweet chili sauce. Sweet chili is still going to give you heat, but it's got, like I said, it's the sweet factor. When you talk about peppers, they talk about a Scoville unit.
Right.
And that tells how hot the pepper is. What the Scoville unit is, how many drops of sugar water it takes to dissipate that heat.
Okay.
So, sweet and heat balance each other out. You got something really hot, you want to come out there. You could actually put a honey with this. You can put other type of seasonings you want with this. This is it's a really quick way. Like I said, when you're first starting out, you do not want to overwhelm yourself. Have fun with this.
Right.
So I'm going to take some sweet chili sauce and kind of equal parts. And you notice that sweet chili sauce, it's coming out a little chunkier.
Yeah.
That's really good. You know why? Because that's sticky, and that's going to hold on to our chicken when we roll our chicken right in there.
Okay.
So we're going to put our sauce in like this. And now we add our own flavor to this. Right now we have some celery salt. Celery salt is what they call a clean spice. What it does is lemon zest or any citrus zest, and I talk that gives you a clean note. It kind of cuts in between. If you got something real hot or real savory and real sweet, it's just like a clean cut through it. Okay. So I'll take a little bit of the celery salt, about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, and sprinkle it in there. I'm going to take a little parsley because it gives it a little color, a little extra flavor. And I'll put a little, kind of a heaping teaspoon in that. Lemon and a lime. Just get a little zest going in there. And just that little touch of citrus. Just brings out a flavor in. Now, it's great if you do this like the day before because then you can have it sit overnight and marry and just kind of all get happy together.
Yep.
We know how a normal hot sauce will take your palate out.
All right, let's see what this.
Take a trust of that.
I don't want to get too carried away here. Yeah, see, it's not overpowering hot. It's like, okay, now I'm starting to get the heat, but I had the flavor first, and I could really taste the sweet.
Yeah. And so
I could really taste the sweet.
And so not only can you do this with your hot sauce, but now you want to do a barbecue sauce. Maybe someone don't like hot sauce. Maybe someone wants barbecue wings. Now I have some I pre-made and brought up here for us, but basically you can take a nice low-end barbecue sauce, either just a plain barbecue sauce or even a honey barbecue sauce that's already got your sticky in it.
Right. And
then pick a jam of your liking. Now, I prefer jam over jelly just because you can get some fruit chunks.
Right.
This particular one, around where I come from, we refer to this as hula pig because this is a sweet and sour barbecue sauce with pineapple chunks.
All right.
And once again, it's got a citrus note to it. Now, what's important to remember, we'll keep these refrigerated, but before I toss that hot wing in this barbecue sauce, we will heat that up.
Okay.
Now, this particular sauce here is called Berry Piggy. And the reason it's called that is because it's full of blackberries and blueberries and strawberries. And once again, it's with regular barbecue sauce. Only difference is this was cut with some garlic and some celery. Now this one was cut with the lemon zest because it'll give you a cleaner flavor because it's a sweeter sauce from that.
Now on this one here, because I'm seeing chunks of pineapple in this one, but on the one that's the berries, did you puree the berries? What did you do?
No, what I use is a fruit preserve where they've already pureed it to a point.
Okay,
but once I pour it out, you'll see them. That's one thing, you want to shake it up, and once you get it down, you'll kind of start seeing the berries come through right through here. Yeah. The berries will give it, even your pineapple will start to sink to the bottom. So you want to give it a really good shake.
Yeah.
And so we'll just give you this. Let you do. So this will be your pineapple sweet and sour.
Yeah, see, I like this one because I love sweet and sour. So you get that sweet, you get that pineapple, and then you get that smoky flavor from the barbecue sauce that you used. See, I really like that one.
Yep. And then this right here would be your berry piggy, where you see you got your berry chunks and stuff like that. And both of these will do well with chicken, but this berry one does really well with pork.
Yeah, see that one is, you can tell that one's more sweet. I don't, you must have used a different barbecue sauce because I'm not catching any smoky flavor.
This one's got more honey, and this is an original. This has got a more honey to it.
Yeah.
But this is for your beginning guys before, they'll come in, I don't know how to make my own barbecues. I don't know how to make recipes and all that. I'll just have to get what's off the shelf.
Right.
This is a way to make your own barbecue sauce without having to do this when you're a beginner. I mean, you don't want, once again, it's fun. Don't be frustrated. And here we have a hot, a sweet, and a mild. So you have something that covers everybody's palate. And then you'll also have the plain wings for those who don't want any sauce in their wings.
Right. Just want the smoky in the meat.
Yeah. So this once again, we'll heat these up because you want to put a hot wing, you want to put it in a hot sauce so it'll get sticky and stir it around, and then we'll break.
Because we can just turn our oven on like a 200 and just stick them in there while we go out and finish
the wings. Yeah.
Finish the wings.
Yeah. Right. And if you have a metal bowl, if that's all you're doing for the day is wings, you could do a metal bowl, put them on the grate as you're getting ready to finish your wings up, and then finish your wings up on that. But this is the perfect way to do it in here, so that way you can kind of make a bar for them to come up and do their own picking of what they want. Because someone might want a little bit of everything.
All right, so hey, we're back outside. We're going to check our chicken and see what our chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Our wings and see what they look like.
Anything but chicken wing. Now, as you can see, they're starting to get some color on them. Now we're going to reach over and try to grab one. Now see how this is stick to that grill?
Yep.
It's time to turn the wings. We'll sit there and we'll turn all these over, bring them a little bit closer to the fire. Notice how I have the drumettes of the chicken wing, which it's got a little more meat to it. I'll have those closer to the fire than I do the actual wings itself.
Sure.
But I'll still try to keep them closer. Once again, it's building the Vortex Heat, so we're turning everything over and getting our colors.
Okay.
So, and if we was to tempt this right now, just to see how it's coming along. See, we're up to 149 degrees. We're looking for 165 to 175.
All right, so 165 to 175. Okay. All right.
And so as you see, they're coming up. They're getting really nice.
Yep.
You're starting to get some nice little brown color on that. Flipping them in that oil will help give them that little brown heat. Will help give them a little brown color to that. Sure. The color you want.
Okay.
So now it's just the waiting game of letting them come up to temp.
Well, they need to hurry up because I'm getting hungry. Man, it's hot out there.
Yes.
All right, so here we are. So the wings are done. We're going to check temp. We've got our sauces out of the oven, warmed up. We're up to temp. We're going to start taste testing.
Now, we could have left these on a little bit longer to get a little more color to them, but since we're going to be covering these in some sauces, it really don't matter. And what I like to do with my thermometer is I will get it, I will run it right up next to the bone. As you can see, the thermometer's coming up, we're getting 165.
Yep.
And we want 165 to 175, and I'll test 2 or 3 different ones and go right into the fatty part of it.
Yep.
And it just shoots right up real quick. So.
Yep.
That's what we want to do with it. Now we'll just take a couple of these and throw you one in there. You like that one, so we'll give you one of those. And since these sauces are already warmed, give it a nice toss. There's your hot wing. And
that's good.
thank you.
They're hot.
Yes, they are.
Heat
Right
hot.
off the grill.
Heat hot, not spicy hot.
Right off the grill hot.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's good. So I like the sweet and smoky. I like that. Now I'm gonna try this is what I like. I love buffalo stuff.
Yes.
All right, so I'm getting the sweet. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of heat.
Yeah. It's building. It's a back heat. What's called a back heat, where it builds on you. But you get that flavor first. And that's what you're really wanting out of a wing. It doesn't just blow your palate out with hot.
Yeah.
And now everything I eat the rest of the day is going to taste like hot. Now you're going to have that heat. It gives you that little bit of zing to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't like it. Because I've had some stuff before that as soon as I put it in my mouth, it's so hot. It's like it neutralizes my taste buds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But that's got, like I said, it's got that, you get that nice sweet, and then after a few seconds, you start to get a little heat. Mm-hmm. I like that mixture. That's good.
This is how you can do a nice barbecue bar for your fridge. You have the barbecue sauces, you have your hot sauces, you have your wings. You can just set those out with a little celery, some blue cheese, some cream cheese, whatever you would like to pair with it to kind of take the heat out of your mouth and add a little flavor to it. You've got a party without having to go to a lot of stress and a lot of work. Once again, keep it fun. Yep.
And then so you got this that we're using for our purposes of our meal here today as an appetizer, so people can come in and
Precisely.
Miss Katie and Tonya and the kids can come in and they can have some wings to kind of tide them over until we get the main course. There you are with hot wings, or sweet and sour wings, or
fruity wings.
Fruity wings. Hey, thank y'all for watching, and y'all stay tuned for more videos here on how to grill.
Y'all have a good evening.